Hey, yo, peace, peace. It's your man, no judge, man. Coming right back at you, man. Something that real talk, real fast, man. Hey, man, it's a fascinating thing that's happening right now in the world, man. Because right now, man, the divine Christ energy is resurrecting. And that's a really good thing, man. People are starting to come back and we're getting ready to form the body of Christ. See, now, the Antichrist is that who is against the resurrection of the Christ within man, or that who is against Emmanuel, which means what? God and man. And this is something, man, that we were born into, because let me tell you, at the very beginning, most of the beings that exist, at the very beginning, when everything was in a complete darkness and the first consciousness came into existence, you was a part of that. You see, the holy mother, or the holy matter, the darkness in space, and within that darkness, that's where all things that exist and all things ever will exist comes up out of that darkness. That is where the matter that creates everything that matters. You understand? Within that darkness. And one day within that darkness, it was a voice that came. It was something that sparked awareness of itself within that darkness. And once it sparked awareness within itself, it was like, Just like when you're curious about something, you often say, then the light goes on. Right. It's just like that. It was the very same thing. But this is the crazy thing. That sound, that sound, it sounds a whole lot like, See, once that which is created the first sound, the word, when it created the first sound, that hum rippled out and through the universe. And it started vibrating and it started moving things and shaping things. Now, the first things that came into creation, not the very first thing, because everything existed in the invisible form first. Now, that which what man calls God, because, hold up. You know what we're talking about here? Actually, we're talking about the original Immaculate Conception. Because you've seen pictures of the Holy Mother and the Holy Child, and they're pitch black. And then people often be like, well, that's because Mary was black and Jesus was black. I mean, yeah, you could look at it that way, man. But that's little baby stuff. That's like kindergarten thinking. Let's think of the whole. When you're thinking of the whole, you're going to see a different story. The Holy Mother, or the Holy Matter, represented the darkness of space. The Holy Child represented the first consciousness, the birth of the first consciousness, or awareness. See, if we don't have this thing that we call consciousness, nothing would exist. I want you to think about this here. If you're in a situation and you're being strangled, what's the first thing that you lose? Consciousness. You lose your consciousness. But as long as you have that air coming in, you can stay conscious. But let's continue. This is what I'm saying. Now, that holy child that was born, that was the divine Christ energy. And what that consciousness did, it sat there by itself. How many people seen that movie with Tom Hanks in it when he was on that island by himself? Remember? And what did he do? He had to create, he found that soccer ball, and he created a character called Wilson because he needed someone else to communicate with. And as time went by, man, the character Wilson that he created, it almost became its own entity to him. Well, this is what the divine did. The divine was like, well, I'm here by myself. He said, you know what though? I'm going to separate myself from myself so I can have a compassion. And it did. So now there were two. Should I say there were three? Because now there was the Holy Mother. And then there was the Holy Son, who became the father of the next holy doggone child. And this thing went on and on. We kept piling it, and we start drawing from ourselves. You know, this is when we were in spirit form. We were drawing from ourselves and creating other entities. Now, one may say, oh, this guy's speaking rubbish. Just let's deal with correspondence. Okay, let's just deal with correspondence. Correspondence claims that as above, so below, as within, so without, as on a large scale, also exists on a small scale. Now let's peep game about this correspondence of what I'm talking about. You have, man, I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm back on it. Choo-choo. All right, we've seen people who we say they suffer from this thing called split personality, like Sybil. And these are beings who have created multiple entities within themselves, and they relate to these multiple entities, and every now and then these multiple entities show up. You might have a cousin, and one day she's Billy, and the next thing you know, she's doggone Billie Jean. You know what I'm saying? She's going by a different character. She's absorbing herself into a different character. This is something that's naturally done. And this was that which what man calls God was the first creator of that thing. You can call God Sybil. But yeah, but we draw from ourselves, and we created more of ourselves. And then the name of the game was, man, in order for you to you must forget who you are for you to become your own entity. Because other than that, if you don't forget who you are, you accept everything as one. But we're heading back into the thing where we're getting ready to start accepting everything as one. People are slowly waking up. See, now, for years and years and years and years and years and years, I'm trying to do this fast because 6 minutes is normally my thing. But as we exist down here on this physical form here, they try to keep you stuck down into your lower nature. You know, survival. That's what they would keep you on. They want to keep you down into your lower 3 chakras. And so the divine Christ energy, or the Christ consciousness that dwells within, has been spending time down in the basement, down in the depths of your hell, where you're only interested in, down here, you're only interested in sex, food, and survival. That's it, your lower levels. Not many people make it to the level of the heart. When you get up to the level of the heart, that's when you start stepping into the Christ energy right there. And you go from here on up. And man, this thing is going over. It's going over on minutes, man. I hate going over 6 minutes. But the divine Christ energy, man, it's coming back. And there's nothing anyone can do about this here, except for the Antichrist is going to try to keep giving you distractions and more distractions. The Antichrist, man, will kill a bunch of us. The Antichrist would destroy a bunch of us. The Antichrist will go into a world war just to stress you out. It would throw us into a famine just to doggone stress us out and put us back in survival mode, so that divine Christ energy don't rise. Because once that divine Christ energy rises, the evil that man does on this planet is going to come to an end. The days that we were promised are coming into effect, but there are those out there who are fighting against it. What we're waiting for is the divine Christ Mass. The divine Christ Mass. The divine Christmas. So the divine Christmas, the Christ Mass. The masses are going to become the Christ, because that which what man calls God, he ain't stupid. Don't ever insult God. God is not stupid. God already knows that if he was to send one person down here and say that one person, he was white, the people who call themselves blacks, they're gonna be suspicious about that. They're gonna be, man, I don't know, I don't trust this white dude, man, because white people have lied. I'm not pointing my finger at black and white people, but anyone who would sit there and who would read the Bible and see how the Bible describes the one that they call Jesus, who they say that is God's son, but then turn around and paint a different picture, they were trying to lie to you visually. Now, anyone who would lie to you about God's son will lie to you about anything, so you got to be leery about man. But let's continue. The divine Christ energy has to come in the masses, because if it comes in only one person, you can kill that one person, you can cut off the head, and the whole movement is over with. But if it's coming by the many within the masses, dude, man, they can't stop that. Because when you see that, when you get to this level right here of the heart, and you connect with the divine Christ energy in you, and you see it within you, you're gonna automatically see it within the next man. And you're gonna have automatically have compassion for your fellow man, because you know when you look at your fellow man, what you're looking at is God in the flesh. I mean, man, it's pretty simple, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, man, we've overcomplicated this thing, and they had to do that, man, because can you imagine having the masses out here who are all on the vibration of love? How do you control people like that? But anyway, man, this is your man L Judge, man. I'm sorry, man. I went almost 11 minutes, man. I hate doing that, but man, it happened. I hope you got something from this. And it's important that you remember this here, because when I start going into conversations about Tartaria and the mud floods and what actually occurred in the Americas, and how America, the same way Rome was looking at that at its time in its heyday, it was looking the same way over here. Peace and blessings. 11 minutes. Sorry, I'm out.